We light the candle and we go into prayer in honor of all those that we love everywhere. So let us take that into our heart space. Mother, Father, God, we are so grateful. We are so grateful for the divine energy in the universe that is everywhere present. From Mother Nature to the divine within each mother, we know goodness moves forward into the light and into our lives. We are so grateful for all that surrounds us as we see motherhood, that trait of divine femininity in all that we see. Gentle kindness in the eyes of the stranger. Compassion in the hands of a neighbor. And peace throughout the world. We are so grateful that the love that comes in us, through us, and as us is of you. It is of that sweet nature side, that of the divine feminine, keeping us in perfect balance in our ease and grace. We are so ever grateful, sweet Spirit. Thank you for allowing us to be your essence in the infinite as the material of life. Amen. I'd also like to send a blessing out this morning with you to all the children of the universe everywhere. So if you would join me in our blessing of the children, all those beings that came into life because of that divine feminine in the universe and that passion within us. So let us say together, we love you. We bless you. We truly appreciate you just the way you are, and we behold the Christ in you. Namaste. Good morning. My name is Tim West. I'm one of the prayer chaplains here at Unity in the Olympics in Port Angeles, Washington. On behalf of Unity in the Olympics, I welcome you to our Sunday celebration service. At this moment, our building is closed to gatherings, but our hearts and minds are ever open to share love and light with you. We welcome you wherever you are, and thank you for joining us today in our virtual service here on Facebook and on YouTube. Let us begin today's service with an affirmation of the truth of our being and knowing by reciting together our declaration of faith, the fundamental principle of the Unity movement, as well as Unity in the Olympics. There is only one power and one presence in the universe and in my life. God, the good, omnipotent. We take that deeply into the core of our being. And this time, let's allow it to express out through us as we recite it together one more time. There is only one power and one presence in this universe and in my life. God, the good, omnipotent. And now it is time for the Daily Word. The Daily Word is a bi-monthly publication of Unity Wide World Ministries in Unity Village, Missouri. With subscribers from around the world, the Daily Word contains heart-centered articles, daily thoughts and affirmations to comfort and guide us along our spiritual journey. Today's Daily Word is Mother's Blessing. Our affirmation for today is, I honor all mothers and am grateful for their love. Join me in saying this. I honor all mothers and am grateful for their love. I bless my mother and am grateful to her for the gift of nurturing love. Whether my mother is still with me or has passed on, her love still lives in my heart and her wisdom continues to inspire me. I am grateful for the many ways my mother has blessed me. I also feel deep appreciation and tender affection for all those who have blessed me with this selfless gift of motherly love. I would not be who I am without them. Through the living example of the mothers in my life, I pass along the blessings of a mother's care and devotion as I embrace opportunity to share an affirming thought, an encouraging word, a smile, or a simple act of kindness. I honor my mother and all mothers as I share the love of God that never fails. Saying that one more time. I honor my mother and all mothers as I share the love of God that never fails. So in Proverbs 31:26, it says, she opens up her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. What a beautiful song. I just love Daniel Nahmod, and I can see why Pat picked that for today's service. And speaking of Pat Coughlin Mawson, my gracious hostess for the past couple of weeks during the COVID-19 experience, has taken me in, and I'm actually residing. That beautiful picture at the beginning of the service was the room that they had set up for me so that I can be here for the next 6 months and share in the experiences that they go through. It is as if Pat has adopted me from the day that she met me at the first chaplain retreat and training session that we went to. I just love her. If it weren't for her, I could not make it through the month of May, because May is truly a reflection of my mother and my grandmother, and I see it coming forward in my daughter. So what can I tell you about Pat? Pat is soft-spoken, as we've discovered today, with the many, many takes of trying to get her onto the videotape. She is kind, she is sweet, she is giving, she is loving, and she truly defines the term unconditional love.
Good morning. Happy Mother's Day. The name of my talk today is Mother, Where Art Thou? Love, Where Art Thou? Yes, this talk is about Mother's Day, but it's about so much more. It's about spiritual growth and awareness on our sacred path, as once again I share with you a resurrection story. I was born longing for mother love, for the nurturing, the feeding, the touching that all babies thrive for. And in the beginning of my life, I did not receive that from my mother. I tell you this not so you feel sorry for me, but to describe a story that many of us might have shared. Some of us were close to our mothers, some were not. Some of us were close to our fathers, some were not. And as we grew and developed, some of us looked to others to fill those unmet needs. All of us long for complete, unconditional love. And when we finally grow up physically and spiritually, we come to realize at age 30 or 70 that the unconditional love that we seek has been right inside of us all along. We were created complete. We do not need others to make us whole. Today I could quote from many sources on the subject of love. From the Bible, books from famous authors, books from Unity. All have wonderful reminders of love and who we really are that could inspire us. But today I have chosen to speak of our human experience and perceptions because that's how we learn. That's what continually reminds us we are not that which we see and feel. We are so much more. So when I was younger, I turned to my children to fulfill that mother love that I needed. I grew up with them. I'm sure I taught them on some level too, but playing with them, I matured until I felt more complete. I know now that one person cannot bring me happiness. Happiness is an inside job. The first time I married for friendship and to have a family, to grow with someone rather than be alone. When I married the second time to Charles, I chose to marry to heal with him, to be a companion, rather than to continue my path alone. Mother, where art thou? Love, where art thou? Today, I really believe I chose my mother to teach me lessons in strength. She's an amazing woman who overcame many challenges. She taught me about change. Without her example, I would not have grown into the person I am today. Today, love is unity with all things. Love is a flower, a tree, our cat Precious, all animals, all of nature, who share their beauty and wisdom. Love oozes out of all our relationships, not just for us and our growth, but also to inspire others. I really believe this. When the universe sends us challenges, I know I'm about to receive as well as about to give. Recently, Charles got another infection and went to another rehab. So as I write this at the end of April, we are separated, and because of the coronavirus, I cannot visit him in person, but we do see each other by video calls. But there is a longing to be able to hold his hand again, to touch him. I really miss that. I remember and visualize what that is like, but I long to feel him in person. So there's a sadness in this separation. In addition, I do not feel well physically sometimes as I prepare for yet another surgery the end of the month. In life, we can dwell on these circumstances or begin to see the gift in it somewhere. But this is not who we are. I am a child of God. I am loved and lovable forever. I am one with the universe. You are one with the universe. So how do we get back to feeling what we know to be true? I believe the answer lies in our thinking. What we think about is what we create. What we say is what we create. So if I choose to think about sadness, illness, lack, I get more of that. And guess what? If as an explanation I say, my mother was sick, then I get sick. But if I take a ride or a walk and see trees budding into bloom, then I know change will occur. If I see a video of ocean waves, I can become that wave and know and feel the ups and downs and the return to shore, reminding me of the truth of who I am. Am I willing to do that? Are we willing to do that? I have run out of notebooks that I love to write in. I've ordered more. They may arrive soon. Tim, my roommate and friend, offered me one of his, but I wanted mine, so I stubbornly am left with writing a portion of his talk on the computer and typing. This is not how inspiration works for me. There's something magical about writing with a special pen in my special notebook. But that's because I believe that to be true. What if I had no hands or pen and I was left with an audio program that typed to me, listening to my words? Would God not inspire through me, as me? So many things in this human life have to do with how we view things and our thoughts about them. Love, where art thou? When Charles and I were married, we played a song sung by Omar and Shanti, which said, "Let me remember, I am one with God." Maybe, just maybe, if my story and my perceptions were different then or now, I would not long to remember as quickly that I am one with God. I might not keep searching. Maybe if my story were nicer then or now, I wouldn't keep discovering who I am and who you are. My memory is selective, just like a computer. I decide what to look up and what to download. What if just for today, I decided and requested and created a new truth for me? Spirit, let me feel inside what I know is truth. Let the pictures come now. Remind me of my youth, of when I thought they hurt me, when I was so small. And let me feel connected to my essence, which is all. Let me laugh and chuckle at what is in my head, knowing that my heart knows mere words that once were said were just expressions of my fears, so that I would know and rise up to the truth of me in my picture show. Until I agree I've had enough and this story is complete, and I decide to go back home, here or there, so sweet. Love, where art thou? Everything that comes to us is a gift. The coronavirus, my last conversation with you, my selective memories, my concerns about this life. All of this is a gift so that we will remember the truth of who we are. What are the feminine qualities that I learned from my mother, from you, from this life? I see the nurturing, the touching, the gentleness, the empathy, the compassion, and love. I see these all around me. I see them in every nurse and caretaker that took care of Charles, and all the caretakers in hospitals and nursing homes. I see these in ones who have dedicated their lives to the team that runs all these facilities. It takes a village. I see these qualities in all people who work in essential services, continuing day after day, providing us with what we need. I see these qualities in animals, in our pets, in nature, in our friends, and even in people who think differently than I do. And now that we have been called to slow down, maybe, just maybe, I'll see these qualities in myself too. Mother's Day calls us to embrace and recognize the feminine in us, to balance our lives, not with fairy tale thinking, not just with what I want, but to extend these qualities to the world. I think we are all beginning to understand that now. Let's move beyond the emotion of what we see more quickly and move into the memory of love. After I finished writing this talk, I got in the car and took a ride to the water. Water and the ocean renews me. and a voice in my head said, "You've won the lottery." And I laughed and replied and said, "But I didn't play the lottery." And Spirit said, "Oh, yes, you have. And that game has ended. You have played at the game of life, and you have won. What if the race is over? What then?" When we return from social isolation to our way of living, it will be different. How will we nurture love, feel, and touch, expending compassion, empathy, and mother love? All of these thoughts remind me of the lyrics of Daniel Nahmod. What if the race is over and we all automatically win? What if the game is ended long before it even begins? What if the test has been taken and we're all passing again and again? What if the race is over? What then? The month of May reminds me of my mother. On May 1st, when I was a child, I used to gather violets in the nearby field and give them to my mother. It made her so happy. It made me happy. Later, when I was older, I would buy flowers for her for our special day. And in the beginning, it was about giving and receiving. In later years, it was about recreating memories. Then, when I was older, it seemed to be an obligation. How many times do we do things out of obligation instead of unconditional love? Later on, when she received that diagnosis and we knew her time here on earth was limited, I bought her beautiful bouquets of flowers every week. She had told me many times to give her flowers now and not to decorate her casket when she was gone. And so I did. So at the end of her life, she was still teaching me about love. Charles is home now. He was discharged from the rehab a few days ago. Am I ready for his bliss, his happiness, his joking, his touch? Oh, yes. What if this race is over? What then? We create our stories chapter by chapter, always breathing in love and breathing out the love that we are. We are called to nurture, to extend compassion. Mother's Day reminds me of that. We are called to extend that wonderful mother love to everyone we meet, but especially to those who are in our lives right now, those in front of us right now, again and again. I invite you now to close your eyes and relax into meditation. Take in a deep breath. Breathe in warm, comforting air. Exhale all stress and tension. Breathing in, I accept. Breathing out the love of God. If the race is over and we're all born victorious, if the race is over, what then? How does it feel to create a mother love for ourselves and for the whole world? Let us envision a magical blanket of unconditional love covering our skin, covering our whole human body. As we ground in love coming up from Mother Earth, feel her love. And let that warm, comfortable feeling move up through our ankles and knees. Feel that love move up to our core, into our chest. Feel that universal love fill our neck, shoulders, arms, fingers, and fingertips. Feel that comfort wash over our face and the top of our head. And now feel the brilliant white light come down and enter our head and move all the way down to the tips of our toes, filling us with a familiar warmth. And hear Jeshua say, how does it feel to live in that space of knowing you are loved? No matter what you do or what you don't do, whether you read the right books, whether you eat the right food, whether you comb the hair a certain way, whatever. The freedom. Feel the freedom. How would you feel to live in great self-love, to know that you are the most wonderful creation of the Father, and you are just as you are? And in this silence, filled with love, we listen. And we say, thanks. Wow. So be it. Let us pray together the new consciousness version of the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who is innocent and pure, holy is your name. May love be seen as all that it is. May earth be seen as heaven is. Nourish this day with your bountiful supply, and allow us to receive as we give that right to others. Restore us from the perils of illusion, and renew our perception of truth. For truth is the kingdom, love is the power, and yours is the glory, forever. So it is. Amen.
Thank you, Pat, for that beautiful, inspiring message filled with love and gentle kindness. I am sending you the biggest virtual hug, or a real hug later, in appreciation for all that you do for us, for me, and the world. Thank you in advance for sharing your tithes, gifts, and offerings with us this week. Let us take a moment to hold the thought of your gift in mind and join me in the blessing of our gifts together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive. I give in love. Thank you, sweet Spirit. Amen. Please send your gift by mail or go to our website at www.unityintheolympics.org and click on the yellow donate button to tithe by credit card or PayPal. Using your imagination, join us in our closing circle. We gather here holding hands and standing close because we are safe in the powerful, sacred space, a divine mind. Hold in mind the loving thought of a friend or a loved one and see them in the presence. Feel them. Behold them as whole, perfect, and complete. As we bring to life James Dillett Freeman's prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. The health of God flows through us because wherever we are, God is, and all is truly well. Thank you for joining us here today. We'll see you very, very, very soon. And join me as we affirm divine love prevails. Divine love prevails. Divine love prevails. So be it.